Hey, this is Tamara Harper of Smallwood Studios. Today I'm going to show you how to embroider a beaded chain stitch. The beaded chain stitch comes out like this. It is a regular chain stitch with a seed bead in each chain. So I'm going to take all 6 strands of my embroidery floss. I'm going to thread a needle and I'm going to double knot the other end. So you've got a tail where the needle is. So what you do is you come up wherever you want to start this chain and you hold the thread over to the left. And you make sure the knot is kind of out of the way on the back and you go back down exactly where you came up, making a loop. And then you come back up through the fabric, through the loop, kind of pulling in the direction of the line that you're going so that it creates a little tiny space. And that is not going to stay in place by itself. You just keep going with the next chain. So you hold that thread over to the left. You go back down through exactly where it's coming up. So inside that first loop. And we are making the second loop now. And before we let go, we are going to come up through the middle. There we go. Then we can let go, pulling in the direction of the line that we're tracing. And now we have our second chain. All right, one more time. So we hold it over to the left. We are going to go back down the same spot we came up, inside that chain. Pull down, but before we go all the way through, we need to come back up. And again, I'm leaving maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch of a space for each of these chains. Again, you're going to have a small seed bead in the middle of each one. I was just going to point out too, as you go along and you're coming up to some curves that are a little small to navigate around, maybe make your chains ever so slightly smaller so that the curve goes around a little more smoothly. And also, as you work, your embroidery floss or thread might be become a little bit twisted. You can just kind of untwist that as you go. But I just wanted to demonstrate along the curve here. So again, you might want to do them a little smaller around the curves, and you can see I might need to be turning my work as well so that I can continuously pull the floss in the direction that I am working. Like this, yes. So just for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to end that chain, which is just tack it down. You go up and over that last chain, and it's going to hold it into place. And you can snip your thread on the back. You can split it in half and tie it 2 times, and that should keep things secure. All right, for threading your seed bead needle, you only need 1 strand of that embroidery floss. So I separated out 1 strand, and I've got my seed bead needle, which is a more flexible needle, and the eye of the needle is much bigger, so it's easier to thread, like so. Pull your thread about halfway through. In other words, you're going to have both ends of the thread kind of equal, like this. You're going to put them together and tie a double knot. So I just loop it and put that in 2 times, 1 and 2. And now you're good to go. So this time with the beads, there's no tail. You're actually using, 1 thread, but it's doubled over. All right, so now I've got my beads. I've got my needle threaded. And what you do is carefully, by trial and error basically, you come up hopefully in the middle of that first chain. And you just pull just gently enough to where that knot is resting on the back of the hoop. Once you've come up, then you thread 1 seed bead and you go back down. Anywhere in the middle of that first chain is fine. And you pull it down just snug enough to where it is in a place that you like it. And then you just repeat. I'll demonstrate that one more time with the second chain. You come up, anywhere in the middle of that chain should be fine. And then you thread on 1 bead and see how I'm kind of holding that thread again over to the side, kind of to keep it out of the way so it doesn't get kind of knotted up on itself. And that's it. Now you know how to do the beaded chain stitch all put together. It looks like this, and I appreciate you following along. I'll see you in the next one.